everyone, today I'm doing a tutorial for glowing peach makeup look. So I've been doing a lot of sort of dramatic looks and bold lips lately, and I thought let's do something more wearable for those of you who like a more natural look. So this is the look that I would be recreating in this tutorial. I'm going to start with my base makeup. I'm using my Shiseido Sheer and Perfect foundation in the shade 060 and using a Coastal Scents Kabuki brush to apply this all over my face. This is a look that you can wear in the daytime as well as the evening. If you're wearing this for the day, I'd recommend using a more natural looking base. Avoid a very full coverage foundation as that might give a slightly cakey look in the day. But if you're doing this for the evening, you can do a full coverage foundation. I'm using the Shiseido one here, like I mentioned, which is actually great for the day as well as the night. It's very light, it's very sheer, but it gives a very perfected look to the skin without looking heavy or cakey. Because this is not a very high coverage foundation, I'm going to need a little extra coverage for my under eye, and I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, which is a high coverage long stay concealer. Once again, I'm using a Coastal Scents brush to apply this in my under eye area. Now this sets very quickly, so you need to make sure that you blend it as soon as this touches your skin, otherwise it's going to set within a few seconds and then you won't be able to blend it. Next, I'm going to use a cream blush. This is the Revlon Photoready cream blush and the shade is Coral Reef. It looks like this crazy orange color in the pan, but it blends out to a very sheer peachy coral color on the cheeks. Just applying a thin wash of this on my cheeks. I'm going to layer a powder blush on top of this, and this layering technique of layering a powder blush on top of a cream blush just extends the wear time of your blush. But before I apply the powder blush, I'm just going to use a pressed powder. This one is by Lakme. Just using this to set all the base products that I've used, all the creams and liquids that I've used so far. Next, I'm going to contour my face, and I'm using the Sleek Contour Kit in medium and using a Real Techniques contour brush. I'm sweeping the darker shade from this duo under my cheekbones, and I'm also going to use this along my jawline to give a little more definition and a more sculpted look to my face. The powder blush that I'm using here is by a brand called Mikyajy, and the shade is Peach Twist, I think. It's a bright peach color, very similar to MAC Peaches, and I'm just applying a little bit of this on the apples of my cheeks and kind of blending it upwards towards the temple. If you've got a round face like me, this technique of blush application suits the face shape really well. It gives a little structure to the face. Moving on to the eye makeup, I'm using an orangey sort of brown color. This is the shade Frappe from Makeup Geek, and I'm applying this in the outer V and the crease of my eye. Because I want a very soft blended look, I'm using a fluffy blending brush for this step, and this is the MAC 217 brush. I'm also taking a little bit of the same eyeshadow along the lower lash line, and I'm just using a very small amount of product, as you can see. I'm going to take a darker brown eyeshadow. This is Cocoa Bear, also from Makeup Geek. Still keeping that slight orange tone of colors here because I think that ties in really well with the peach cheeks and the peach lips that I'm going to do later. And the darker brown eyeshadow, I'm just applying it with a smaller brush. This brush is from Coastal Scents. Applying it in the outer V of my eye just to intensify the crease line, and I'm also taking the same brown eyeshadow Cocoa Bear along my lower lash line. After applying this, I'm just going to go back in with my blending brush. This is the MAC 217. just to gently blend the Cocoa Bear eyeshadow that I applied here. For my lid color, I'm using a slightly more shimmery color. This is Cosmopolitan, also by Geek. This is a really pretty golden peach color, and I'm applying this with a flat brush. This is the MAC 239 brush, and I'm just patting this on the lid. I'm only taking this about 2/3 of the way in. I'm not applying this on the outermost 1/3 of the eye where I have used the matte eyeshadows. Same Cosmopolitan eyeshadow is also going on the lower lash line on the inner half. Once again, going in with my MAC 217 blending brush just to make sure that everything is well blended and there are no harsh edges. To highlight the inner corner and brow bone, I'm using the Makeup Forever Star Powder in the shade 902. You have heard me talk about this quite a bit recently because this is my current favorite highlighter. It's a translucent gold color, looks almost transparent in the jar, but once you apply it on the skin, it gives off a really pretty golden highlight. So I'm using this in the inner corner and also on the brow bone. I'm also using this as a cheek highlight because this is a pigment. It just blends down beautifully on the skin and you can use it on any part of the face. Next, I'm going to line my upper lash line, and I'm using the black gel liner from Maybelline, and the brush I'm using is from e.l.f. And I've applied a thin line along my upper lash line, and I'm just going to wing it out a little bit. If you don't want to do a winged liner, you can just do a simple liner, whatever works for you. For my brows, I'm going to use the Shiseido Brow Styling Compact. This is the shade Medium Brown. I'm using an angled brush just to fill in my brows a little bit. Coming to the lashes, I'm going to apply a mascara first. This is the Physicians Formula Jumbo Lash Mascara. I'm applying a little bit of it on my top and bottom lashes, and then I'm going to apply a pair of false eyelashes. Just adding the pair of false lashes. This is a very natural looking one. It just adds a bit of volume, doesn't add too much of dramatic length. Also try applying some individual lashes only on the outer corners if you just want a little bit of flare. And once the glue has dried out, I'm just applying a little bit of liner to cover up any visible glue. Coming to the lips, I'm using a new lip liner. This is by NYX and the shade is Natural. I'm just using this all over my lips as a base. I'm going to apply a peachy coral lip gloss on top of it. This is the Revlon Colorburst Lip Gloss in the shade Papaya. Just applying this all over my lips. Because this is not a very high coverage gloss, using a nude lip liner underneath really helps in showing the true color of the gloss on the lips. And that finishes the look. This is the finished complete look. I'm generally one for a more dramatic look. I don't do softer looks that often, and when I do them I generally go for a pinker theme of colors, so this is an unusual look for me, but I really like how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as well. If you liked it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Bye.